get started. Great, thank you. All right, so welcome to the November of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Krista, did we get, I don't have minutes for last.
Not for the most recent one, but I did send minutes with the October meeting that we waited, so I don't know if you guys had a chance to review those.
I haven't, so let's,
Okay.
we'll do minutes next time.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start with our continued hearing, which is petition 2515, which is the Pine Street project. And hi, welcome. So I wanted to, we had talked a lot about the parking lot last time and changes that could be made and couldn't be made. And I know that there was kind of an email sort of documenting the review of the idea of having the parking lot exit through the smoke shop. And that was kind of, do you mind just going over the sort of rationale on that, just, or?
Can I have the microphone?
Oh, sure. I know that an email went around, but I just want to make sure that it's just for the public record, that everybody kind of knows what the thought process.
We appreciate that. Thank you. I'm Holly Grace with B'nai B'rith Housing. And direction from our meeting last month was that we were going to take a look at the driveway entrance serving our new affordable housing development to share the driveway access with the dispensary. So our team consulted with our engineers to look at this plan and also our lawyers to see if it's possible, because as you all know, just as a reminder, this property that we're planning to develop this housing on is owned by the town, and we will have a ground lease with the town for this land. So we investigated this and determined that it's not a viable option for us for a variety of reasons, including parking and circulation in the area could even get worse. Just logistically thinking about if every single individual who's visiting this building and coming from an automobile would be driving further to the parking to park, including delivery drivers and things like that, there's a concern that there'll be parking, even more parking along Pine Street, or even double parking for quick deliveries, and we know that that is not appealing to anyone. In addition, there's programmatic challenges, just with community identity, with our veterans housing, sharing the driveway entrance with the dispensary. We especially want to make sure we have safe and sober housing for the people who live there, so I think the identity is a concern. Operationally, there's blurred and confusing lines of who owns and who controls responsibility for things like snow plowing and potential control over activities within the dispensary, and just, I guess, navigating an emergency response. And something that's most complicating on this are the legal hurdles. We have a land agreement with the town, and it would require a formal amendment or clarification to be able to use this as our primary access. And that opens a very long list of questions and potential timing with to edit that or get it changed. And it would likely also require consent from the dispensary and potentially an amendment to the town's lease with the dispensary. So it could significantly, I guess, put this development off track. So we view it as not viable. We do have something else we'd like to talk to you about as an alternative that hopefully meets some of the constraints, but I don't want to, is that okay if we talked about that? Okay, well, before I shift, are there questions about this, or are folks, okay, so moving on, we investigated an alternative that tries to address the concern, and one of the biggest concerns we heard was from the property owner directly across from the plan. So we're sharing on the screen what we shared at last meeting in October. So the And this was revised, I believe, since our initial submission from August, which had a drop-off area noted to try to address these concerns about Pine Street deliveries, drop-offs, things like that. So in this October scheme, the driveway is pretty much perfectly aligned with the house directly across the street. And we heard the concern, headlights directly across, this is a big change, a big impact. As you know, we looked at an alternative driveway location to share with the dispensary. Okay, we're not doing that, but we would like to consider this November 2005 driveway configuration, which tweaks the driveway location, especially for the exiting traffic from the parking lot, so that traffic exiting isn't directly facing the house across the street. It's somewhat askew, and we hope helps address partially the concerns of that house. In addition, there's some benefits to shifting to this plan, including bigger sightlines than the plan from last month, including for views of pedestrians on the sidewalk and other vehicles coming along Pine Street. I guess a drawback to this plan is that to fit this tweak, some of the parking spaces need to become compact. But this is a condition that also exists at the Michon, a different development that B'nai Housing did here in Swampscott, and it operates efficiently and fine, even with the senior population. So we feel comfortable proposing this as an alternative that tries to help address the concerns of the neighbors across the street.
I really like the improved sightlines on this. I think that my biggest concern was how close you were exiting to the building and not being able to see the sidewalk. So I think this is a big improvement. So you didn't lose any spaces, you just moved it to the center and did compact.
Yeah. So as you can see the comparison here, we
You're still
lost,
showing 35, I thought.
we
And
lost
lost
this
one
space
space
here.
and made it up with a.
With the compact, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so we lost one at the bottom row, but gained one in the middle aisle. But 5 had to become compact.
Lost a little bit more green space.
Yeah, a little less curbing in the parking lot also, or green
Oh,
space,
yeah.
but might be
I see
brown
that,
space,
yeah.
honestly, because it's very narrow.
Yeah, probably would not have grown much, and it was very narrow, yeah.
And it actually increased the aisle by 1.5 feet, which is also good.
Do you want to toggle back and forth a couple times so people can see? So between October, it's labeled at the bottom. November. October, November.
Yeah, well, that's helpful. And I think there were some concerns from Gino about sort of some of the plantings right at the exit anyway for sightlines, so I guess that didn't really get narrower, did it? Maybe it got a little bit narrower, but that isn't really much of a loss in the sense that having plantings there was probably not great for sightlines anyway, so.
Did
Yeah, I
that
did get
change?
it a little narrow.
October, November? She's looking, I believe, are you looking at the driveway entrance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were exiting directly to your right, it looks like that little the little area got a tiny bit narrower. All right.
What's the width of, was there any change in the width of the, where the exit point, entrance point?
Is that a question that Jacob can answer? Our civil engineer is here? On Zoom, I should say.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep,
Can you hear me?
yep, we can hear you.
Jacob Lemieux with Hancock Associates, 315 Elm Street, Marlboro, Mass. So the actual width of the driveway doesn't change, so it's the same in both. The only thing that changed is that we brought it, angled it further towards the south, and moved it away from the building.
Thank you.
It also sort of delineates that, that standing area a little better, I think, rather than, you actually would have to kind of pull into that area, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it lines up a lot more with the aisle now.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions about this change?
Looks good to me.
Yeah, I think it's an improvement. And then we have, I think the person who's going to be doing the peer review is supposed to be here today. She's online. Hi.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi, thanks for coming. Vicki, nice to meet you. So nothing's actually started yet for the peer review because we just got these. All right, so that will be for the next step. Is there anything else that's new this month?
No.
Does anybody from the board have any questions?
No, I think what's new looks good.
All right. Does anybody here, either online or in person, have any questions specifically about the parking? Yes.
Just curious with the,
Just say your name and your address, please. Thank you.
Hi, Steve Gadman, 11 Pine Street. At the last meeting, they talked about talking to the fire department. I was wondering if that has been handled, about being able to get in and out of there.
Because of the bump out and the.
Has there been any, do you know if there's been any consulting with fire?
Is Jacob still on? I believe our civil engineer?
Yeah, we haven't received comments back from fire. I can certainly reach directly out to them to see if they have any issues, but I believe early on, we had fire at our team meeting that we did prior to our filing, who had reviewed our preliminary plans and gave us the verbal okay on that. So we can certainly just request a memo from them.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank
But-
you.
Also, as a reminder, so this building is on a corner, so there's two public roads that abut the building on two sides, and
Right, it meets the fire code. The fire truck can access the building on three sides and is less than 150 foot burst maneuvering. So the building meets the fire code with the access, and you can get a memo from the fire department speaking to that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? Is there anybody online who can use the raise their hand button? No? All right,
This is a first,
I know.
my entire career.
Excellent. Well, all right, so what are our, I guess we should probably figure out what our hopes are for next meeting. Hopefully, we will have the peer review done.
Yeah, maybe asking Vicki how much time she thinks she's gonna need.
Yeah. Vicki, if you could let us know.
Yeah, I think our proposal said 2 weeks to kind of do the, discovery. Obviously, we have the plan set, but it's a matter of looking at some of the documents at DPW on the drainage and the culvert and kind of get our hands around that item. And then completing our review 2 weeks beyond that. I think that was our timeline. I can double check.
So,
We've got a December 16th meeting scheduled. Do you think
Yeah.
we could do it all then?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yep.
okay, great.
Let's see. Yep, that would put us at 4 weeks. So yes.
What?
I said I'm going to be traveling on the 16th.
Okay.
Does that matter?
You have not missed a meeting, correct?
Correct.
So you could watch a video.
Okay.
You can watch a video for one meeting per petition.
16th is the meeting.
The 16th, December 16th, yeah. So that would be great, and if anything that you get in before the 16th, so we can distribute it, that would be excellent.
And I just wonder if Paul has any
Absolutely.
Yeah.
thoughts too.
And Paul, welcome. Do you have any additional thoughts for preparing for next meeting? Hang on, we're
I think
trying to
he's
unmute
muted, yeah.
Sorry, I was muted.
you. Great.
I don't have any specific thoughts about getting ready for the next meeting other than getting the peer review comments completed. I am available that night, so I want to make sure you're aware of that.
Great, thanks. All right, so that'll be the plan. to have all the peer review done, submitted, and then we'll have to, hopefully we'll have some time to review before the meeting. Excellent. All right,
I'll make a motion to continue to December 16th. And look to, I'd suggest we look to put this as the first item on our agenda. We should try to do that.
yep. All right, we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, well, see you next month.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
It's the shortest 40B meeting.
Alternatives, we'll pull it up here. Next one.
But still, you know, there's. They did Michonne. They did a good job. Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to flag that for you in case we wanted to
Yep.
watch it right now for everybody here. I can definitely watch it, but I'm just gonna
They should do it all.
I mean, you could go on to it, right, but like, not.
I'm gonna be on a
Like a
plane
train
at that time, like, I'm gonna be coming home late that night.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you only have to watch the things that, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I gotta.
Okay, moving on. We're going to move on to our next petition. If you're still discussing this, if you could go out in the hallway, that'd be great. All right. So we are going to open the continued petition number 2517, which is for Realty Garage, previously Lally's Garage. Hi.
Sam couldn't make it tonight?
Yeah, I guess.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Gennaro Angiulo, manager, Lally Garage LLC. Unfortunately, Sam had a conflicting appointment in Lynn. He couldn't make it, but I know that he supplied you guys with everything that he supplied me, which is his explanation as to why it's just continuing of existing use. Everybody got the packet, I assume?
We got the memo. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I think this is one of those that comes to the, there's sort of two underlying questions. Is the use continuous? And if the use is not continuous, is the use allowed as a extension of the existing use? And whether or not the use is continuous, I think is really hard to prove because it was owned by someone else for so long. And I think most people who visited that shop would say it was not a, it wasn't auto body. It was a repair shop, but not an auto body shop at the time previous to your ownership.
Correct, but your license states clearly repairs bumpers and fenders. And if we possess the same license that Swampscott Auto Body possesses. And we can all agree that Lally's has been there since the 1800s. It was a train switching yard if you go back in the records. Unfortunately, all the original records of the building have been destroyed because there was a flooded City Hall like 50 years ago, Bob Wilson told me. He always repaired cars, he always fixed cars, and he always painted cars. He just never painted cars properly with what we want to do, which is a spray booth, which captures all of the bad stuff that you will emit into the air and do it properly. It's the same use, it's the same shop. I own a body shop in Lynn, and I have a repair license there, and I have a body shop license that says I repair bumpers and fenders. So that's why we believe it's continuing existing use.
So our bylaw does, I mean, it lists it under the same number, but it definitely separates them by kind of ors rather than commas. It doesn't say that it's all the same. It definitely kind of
Well, it-
separates them as separate. I don't know how everybody,
It clearly states and/or.
Our-
Sam pointed that out at the last meeting.
yeah, ours just says motor vehicle, general, or body shop, or automatic automobile vehicle washing facility.
Could I just look out for a second?
Yeah, yeah. So that's the kind of,
Right, Sam pointed out "or" in his memo, the use of that, and then, how did he describe it? So he just says in the definition section, motor vehicle general and body repair in Article 6. And the table of uses is inconsistent with using the word "or." So he pointed out that
yeah,
conflict.
yeah.
And, how do you reconcile that was his,
I understand, well, why you could use, you could use "and" when you're saying, I'm referring to these two uses, and you use the word "or" when you're separating the uses under the use, the,
yeah, this one, the definition.
He's showing that they've been painted before. They've used painting. They've painted cars.
But it's still currently painting now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I pointed out at the last meeting, with today's advancement in vehicles and Teslas and Fords that are aluminum, you can't just paint in the atmosphere. You have to paint in a controlled environment, which would be a heated spray booth, which comes with its own fire protection, and would be very safe to the environment, because I know there were some concerns about that. But these are mechanisms that are installed all over the United States of America, in every city and town. It's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. No, the issue isn't necessarily that. I mean, we're glad that if you're going to be spraying, you want to do it properly. It's more just that the use of any sort of auto repair is only allowed because it's grandfathered in at this location. It's not zoned for it at this location. So therefore, it can only be permitted because it's a grandfathered use from previously. So I understand that it's been used most recently and that you do have receipts for paint. It's just
It was
whether or
never not used. Bob Wilson operated it until the last day he was there. When he left, I took over. It took me months, my sister and I, to clean the building out and get it so you could actually use it. Then we rented to a gentleman who did repairs and installed tires. Sadly, he failed in business. He couldn't make it. We had to evict him. He left. And now we have a body shop that's interested in renting it, and we're asking the town to please see that it's continuing of existing use for repairs. It was never not used. Bob Wilson fixed cars and changed oil and dented bumpers and helped people until the last day he was there. After we bought it, he paid us 9 months' rent to stay there because he couldn't move out fast enough. There was a lifetime of stuff in there. And if anything, I think we bettered the building, we bettered the way it looks, and it will be 5 times better than that when we're done with this project.
I was just marking that page.
Oh, I'm
so they had
sorry.
the definition. That's
Sorry,
okay. I thought you might want to take a look at that, too.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I did want to take a look at that. That's the definition that was back here. I just pulled it out. That was under,
It's with all the definitions
Yeah.
towards the end, yeah, in that area, under alphabetical under motor
Motor.
vehicle.
yeah. Does anybody on the board have any questions or thoughts on this?
I just think, Sam's point about the difference between the definition with and or, and looking at the table of principal uses, that I would agree with his argument that really should be or. That I don't think it's exclusive of either one. I think that either one would be, so if you go back to the table of principal uses. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it
So-
is listed under number 9, under the same use.
Right, so, and what's the district, is it?
It's not permitted in the district.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what it is it the, I should look on the application.
It's a, B1, right? You're currently a B1? I don't have the full application here.
I'm pulling it up right now. I can show it on the screen.
Yeah, B1 is on the application.
Yeah, which is, you know,
No.
an N, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to confirm
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
so it's a protected use as far as the use that's there. Okay, so I don't know whether that's really part of the analysis.
Yeah, no, it's
think-
more that
I think you're,
kind of where it says or here, I agree, and then where it says and, as if it's one and the same, the definition, it has one definition for both motor vehicle and body repair, as if it's one thing. Whereas in the use, it lists it clearly as separate things.
right, on the continuous use argument, where we ask for, receipts, there are some receipts for paint products. Not from 25 that were produced.
Yeah,
Prior to that, there's receipts there that show that the gentleman's name was actually Juan. He owned Rehoboth's Tire. His receipts are all there, that he serviced cars, fixed cars, he installed tires and sold tires. Not limited to, and including batteries, brakes, alternators, starters, all kinds of miscellaneous repairs to vehicles.
Yep, I think that part of it isn't highly contested, that there was at least that more than the light-duty repairs going on there, that it meets the definition.
yeah, I think there's no question
Motor
that it's
vehicle
a
repair.
general motor vehicle repair. That it's more, is it an auto body shop, and has it continuously been an auto body shop without any stoppage of use for all that time? Or are they the same thing by our bylaw definition, and therefore it's irrelevant?
Mm-hmm.
I would say we don't really have evidence that it's been a true body shop, but continuously. But then we do have the issue where our definition lists it as one thing.
Well, I think he's produced some evidence. I think the burden, we heard some testimony the last time from some neighbors who said it wasn't, they didn't make any observation of there being any painting, but we do have some actual evidence. I would think the burden would be on the petitioner to show that there was the continuous use, and he's put forth some evidence of that. I don't know if the testimony of the neighbors who said their observation is enough to rebut that, that testimony.
With no disrespect to the neighbors, they can't see what goes on behind closed doors. I mean, that's just fact.
Yep. I think one of the neighbors had,
Yeah, please state your name and address, please.
Yeah,
And they'll get you a microphone.
thanks so much.
Hi, my name is Elaine. Can you hear me?
Yep.
My name is Elaine Lipcan, and I live at 25 Essex Street. My husband, Dan, was at the last meeting where this was discussed. We are new residents in Swampscott. We took possession of our property on the 17th of April of this year. We saw the property for the first time in mid-March, which was actually the last time when this prior business, Rehoboth's, was on the premises. By the time we took possession of our property, it was already empty again. And since that time, it has been operating as a towing company. I understand from hearing from my husband and Sam, our neighbor, that there was some discussion last meeting that there was painting going on of dumpsters on the property. But we do live right across the street. We can see in the windows. We can observe what's going on there, not every minute of every day. But as far as I can tell, and from getting to know our neighbors and asking around, because we're new and we want to know what's going on in the area, there has been no evidence in my mind that there's been continuous operation of anything but general towing, tires and basic repairs. If there was painting going on the premises and it was manual painting, I think I'd like to challenge the notion that manual painting of anything, car-related or otherwise, is an entirely different ball of wax than a full-on operational spray booth for body work. These businesses themselves are actually still available online. You can go on and see what they offer as their services. Body work and painting is not one of them. And that's even just in the last 2 years. Lally's has been gone since more than 2 years. So we're new, we don't know. I can't produce photographic evidence of all of this, but much of this material is readily available online. And we're in a highly residential neighborhood. We're across the street, but the entire affordable housing complex is right behind this property, and there's kids playing there all the time. So in my mind, yes, I suppose the zoning board is stuck between a rock and a hard place having to approve something as being grandfathered, but I think at the max, all you can grandfather is what's been happening there. So if they're comfortable hand painting some bumper repair, that seems to me like a clear grandfather. But the idea that they are going to put in a big spray booth that has to have, first of all, has much higher, aerosolized particle matter and hazardous chemical exposure risk. I mean, and it's like apples and oranges to me. So again, I can't wave a wand and show you evidence. I am not allowed to go in the property. I haven't been in there myself, but there's a lot of things that are visible to us as residents. So I would just ask the zoning board to consider what is the nature of that grandfather? And does what they are proposing to have a permit for actually align with common sense zoning practice in a highly dense residential area? And I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So the idea of abandonment of use, it's 2 year, you'd have to have 2 year, so if the use existed and 2 years went by without it, that's the statute of limitations
Yeah.
for use.
Then the use has been abandoned.
Mhm.
And just to add, we do spray. As you can see on the receipts from the hardware store we supply. We buy spray paint just like everybody else does, and we spray all the parts of the dumpsters that you can't reach with a brush. We spray bumpers on cars. We spray door jambs. There's a Cadillac in there we're working on now. We do spray. It's just we don't spray in a booth. If we were to improve to a booth, you take away all of the pollutants that go into the air. And also, with respect to the fact that the kids play behind it, the ventilation system would vent out the side. It would not vent towards the children, but it doesn't matter because what it omits is 000, which is in accordance with DEP law with the booth we would purchase. Part of the Clean Air Act.
Right, if there's any problem, DEP is gonna be right on it.
Or the health department, or the EPA.
Right, there's municipal protection.
Right.
There's state protection through DEP. And you have liability if,
And there's all kinds of yearly filings that have to be filed by the operator.
You have the microphone in front of you. If you could just say your name and address first, please.
Smelia Marvash, I live at 19 Essex Street. I just want to make a small correction. If the permit goes forward, the DEP would no longer have authority to look at the records. It would just be the Board of Health that neighbors could complain to.
I couldn't hear all of that, could you?
Okay. If the exemption permit goes forward and it's approved, the DEP gives up its authority to look at the records or to ask for the detailed monthly records that are meant to be kept. It would revert, like you said, to the Municipal Board of Health. So the neighbors would only have the avenue to complain to the Board of Health because the DEP would have released its authority. The other thing I'm confused about is Is ownership of the business and ownership of the property two different things? Because Mr. Angulo refers to having bought the business, but when I look at whose name is on the deed of the property recently, it's still Bob Wilson and his wife. So are they two different things? Can you buy a business from someone who owns a property, and that person can still own the property?
Yeah, you can, but you bought the property, you own the
We
property.
own the property as Realty Investors LLC. We also bought Lally's LLC from Bob Wilson. It's all been transferred years ago. If you found that information, it's old documents. And just a comment, you're entitled to make your complaint to the health department. If the health department finds an issue, the health department reaches out and calls the DEP or the EPA. That's how the chain of command works.
All right. Does anybody want to sort of opine out loud so that we can sort of feel where the board is thinking on this?
Sure.
I mean, I should probably constitute the board before I do that, so I'm just going to constitute the board as everyone through Michelle. If that's all right. But you can also, you can still have an opinion if you'd like.
I mean, my opinion is that hopefully in this booth, it's going to be consolidated better and tracked better than them spraying with nothing. You know, they're using that now, and it's, God knows where it's going. So if anything, it's going to be a better consolidated situation.
The word,
Do it either way.
the word's encapsulated,
Encapsulated.
filtered, and put back into the other right way. Whereas a regular person, anybody here can go to Walmart, buy 2 cases of spray paint and go spray paint on the wall. That's omitting
This is not, we're
gases into the
stopping
air.
them from spray painting. We're not stopping them from painting.
I'll go out, no, I'm fine with it.
What was that,
I'm
Andy?
fine with it.
Yeah, I am too. I
It's my,
have an
I
idea.
mean, it's a heavily regulated industry, and that's out of our jurisdiction. And, you know, this, whether we missed 2 years in one day or whatever, I mean, this is going on, this is a garage, this is, I'm fine with it, and I agree that it'll be better regulated if
right.
anything.
Michelle?
I'm torn, and I think the issue is the change in business ownership, because yes, you presented the records you haven't owned it that long, so they're all 2025. If we're looking at statute of limitations issues, what do we have for 2024, 2023? It's tires. That's not painting, and like you said, you know, we have some evidence on either side, so I'm torn, but I think probably at the end of the day, because it is a heavily regulated industry, once you get the right permits in place and you do all the things you're supposed to do by the DEP, the Board of Health, it is ultimately probably better for the community that you do it correctly. And if there's not enough evidence to suggest otherwise, I think I'm leaning towards this is probably okay.
I would have to completely agree with you.
I'm sure you do.
Got to speak up, Mark, right?
So
Yeah,
there's a
I
couple
mean,
people do, oh, I'm sorry.
Let's see people online. I'm still, my feeling is, I'm not buying that this had been an auto body shop continuously. So the continuous use for me is difficult for me to accept. But what I'm having trouble is our bylaw very much sums them as the same thing. So it doesn't really separate these two uses out, and that's where I come down on. I don't think that this has been an auto body shop. I think in my mind, an auto body shop and a general repair are two very separate things, but our bylaw, they are not. In our bylaw, they are one thing. And that's where we have the problem. It clearly has been a repair shop, and that's, no one questions that. You know, most people think a collision, you know, if you have an accident, you go to you might not go to your regular repair guy. A collision person is a specialist, and they're different. And I think most people see those two as very separate. Our bylaw does mention them as one thing, and that's sort of where my disconnect is.
So with regard to that, if you get in an accident and you have mechanical damage to your car, the same shop fixes the mechanical damage. In other words, if you hit a curb, blew a tire, and smashed your wheel into your fender, I'm gonna fix the tire, straighten out the frame, put it back together, but I'm also gonna fix the fender and paint it if I'm a body shop. In today's world, no body shop just does body work. They're gonna fix the mechanical part too, because there's some heavy lifting and some
But
money.
there's a lot of mechanics that are not body shops.
Agreed, there's a lot of body shops that are mechanics too, right?
Right,
But a lot of both.
yeah.
I think that we could probably debate this, like, ad nauseum. For me, there's two issues. One is that this notion that they're going to do it anyway, it's the same thing, is not helpful for us, because if somebody comes in and they've got a fender bender and you're doing a spray can to fix one spot, the volume of what you are producing in that space is an entirely different situation than running a full-on body shop where you are actually spraying full cars, which is, of course, why you need the specialized equipment. The problem is that this level of shop at this size is under thresholds for anybody to care about compliance. So once this permit actually goes through, the likelihood that anyone from any type of authority will be checking on whether or not there's a proper downdraft and that thing is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing is slim to none, in my opinion. The other question I would just have maybe to all of you is your comment early on, like, this is only a discussion because it's grandfathered. My question to the zoning board is then, why is that? Would this type of a business not be allowed in our community in a dense residential area like this now if it were not grandfathered? And if that is true, then why are we even having this discussion? Why isn't the nature of that new regulation not as equal weight to considering the grandfathered question?
So it isn't a B1, and in our use of our zoning bylaw, a B1 cannot have a repair shop at all. But if a repair shop exists, then that can continue, that use can continue. And in our zoning bylaw, it also refers to a motor vehicle general and body. It says, it even doesn't even say the word repair until the end. It says motor vehicle general and body repair, as if it's one thing. And then it defines that. And that's really where we're at. If these are, I understand sort of that we think of them as two separate businesses, but our zoning bylaw considers them one and the same. And if something's existed, it's allowed to continue to exist.
And even if it was separate, the zoning act, 48 section 6, protects pre-existing non-conforming uses, the so-called grandfathered use. And what that does, it not only protects that use to continue, but it allows essentially an accessory use to that existing use, so long as it is not substantially more detrimental to the neighbor than the existing use. So our bylaw defining those two things together, the general repair and the body shop, tells us that the way that the intent under the bylaw is, it looks like, to treat those as the equivalent. So there's the applicant has two roads to being able to put in this paint booth and have the body repair work and paint booth as a use. One is the grandfathered use. If you can prove that, it seems like there's some questions whether the board, members of the board, agree to that. And then the second is, if it is a pre-existing non-conforming use, which I think everyone agrees that it is as general repair, then is the paint booth, the addition of the paint booth, just simply a permitted expansion of the use that's protected under 48 section 6. And that's the way I am leaning. I think that there's likely not, there's some evidence of the continuous use. I don't know that it's enough to meet the burden, but I think that from just one vote, that the use for the paint booth is an extension of the pre-existing non-conforming use under the intent of our bylaw. And in terms of the worries about environmental issues, relief can be conditioned upon certain compliance, right? So we've heard from the applicant that there's going to be 0 emissions. We can condition our relief.
Yeah, but that's not our purview. I mean, that's the purview of.
It's not our purview, but we can specifically condition that it complies, and perhaps once it's up and operational, to have a certification from the installer, or there's independent places that test. I mean,
Mark, if I could interrupt for 1 second, just to rebut what she said. 6 aerosol cans of spray paint released into the ozone is much worse than painting a full car in a spray booth.
I understand that.
Also, there is much and many requirements in physical testing for this booth to get inspected. I believe it's quarterly. So there's no games with this. This booth is licensed by the state. It's not like we just buy one and say, okay, don't change the filters, nobody cares. This is a very specific unit, and it will tell the body shop when the filters need to be changed. It has all monitoring stuff. It's not like we bought this at an auction sale.
Right,
You know,
right. I
this is
understand that.
brand-new equipment.
I'm just suggesting, I think that having a condition for some type of certification, it may be the certification that you're already required to have under DEP law or an EPA.
If you
I don't know.
pull it up online, it comes right up. It's state inspected.
So that's what I'm looking for, that you comply with all of that, and that there's a certification that it's complying with Massachusetts law and federal law. I think that's a very basic
But that's
condition.
like giving permission to a special permit and telling the guy as a condition of the special permit, you have to go get a building permit.
I don't think you need to get a building permit to have that.
No, I'm just saying that.
You're saying it's analogous?
just-
Saying because of course you need to build, his point is of course you need
Yeah.
to
It's
build.
not
Right,
our
right, right.
You
purview.
can't
It's
build without a
like
building
when we
permit.
try and do traffic, the traffic isn't, once it's over, like, it's not, that's gotta be
Right.
enforced. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's a
No.
bad precedent to,
We're not the enforcement body
Right.
at that point.
right.
But I think a regular condition that we've put in is that you comply with all other requirements of any other board.
State and federal regulations.
Yeah, so, and I think that's fair.
Are you required to, I guess, have that inspection report anywhere, like posted?
They would keep it right in the shop, yes.
Okay.
Because the inspector can come at any time, city, state, or federal. Just like a liquor establishment would have the liquor license on the wall. You'd have the license for the booth. And I know there was some concern about the model number and what it was all about, and when we finally get to that point, we'll be happy to supply all that. But of course, if we make it past this step, we have to go apply for a license, and we have to do some construction and get approved by the building department. There's other steps that follow this.
You have another question?
Thank you. Yes, I'd like to challenge the notion of 100% encapsulation. I know you've made it clear to me that it's not in your jurisdiction, but mechanical things can fail all the time. And the EPA and its state partner, the DEP, they look at larger, like Elaine said, this is kind of a small business that's under the radar. They look at larger industry to see if they are complying. But industry is supposed to self-report a pollution violation. So what they're looking at is larger industries that do that. If you look at the research of self-reporting of industry on pollution violations, it's really poor, because what they're doing, what their 100% attention is focused on is their production, whatever their production is, whether it's painting cars or building oil wells or constructing, whatever. Self-reporting comes as the last step, because they're going to be interested in completing their production first. And like I said, if you look at the research on self-reporting, it's really poor.
So we have a quick explanation of 100% encapsulation. The booth doesn't operate unless the door's closed. The booth is sealed. Everything goes out through the filtered ventilation system. So when I say 100% encapsulated, I mean we're not spraying cars in the parking lot, and we're not spraying cars inside the shop. We're spraying them in the booth. Then it does its job. If it won't operate, meaning if the filter is full or if there's a system failure, the heat won't turn on in the booth and you can't paint the car. There's all steps to prevent any type of what this woman is referring to.
we're going around in circles.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
So I
like
think
you
on-
wanna
For me, if they were two separate uses, I would say it's not grandfathered in and that you can't have this use. But because our bylaw has it as the same, one and the same, and doesn't separate them as two separate uses, I think we're sort of at a place where, the way this is written, an auto body shop is a general repair shop, and there is no difference. So that's where I'm at.
Me too.
All right, so, does somebody want to make a motion?
Can you get Sam to write the
Yeah, if I can get Sam to write the decision, he'll
Yeah,
watch
Sam will
it.
write it.
All right, so we have
So,
first.
and I am okay with conditioning, that, I understand what you're saying, it's the same as saying you need a building permit, well, of course, you can't build without a building permit.
Yep.
But there seems to be some, like, lack of understanding on the board as to what sort of, because this isn't something we do every day, I don't know how often a booth is inspected and where that report goes and how the neighbors have access to those reports, or how the health department gets access to those reports. So I'm okay with conditioning that all the state and local reports are
Federal.
somehow
It would-
accessible.
It would be ISD, Inspectional Services.
Inspectional services?
Yes.
And
They're the overseer.
What's that?
They're the overseer. They watch over it.
Over the booths?
Yes. Over the body shops, over the mechanical shops, same with the fire department. Random fire inspections. It's yearly. They check the system, they check the extinguishers, they check all the tags. It's the same sort of thing.
But I would be comfortable with conditioning that any time an inspection or a report is done, that's filed with our health department.
That's agreeable.
So that at least we know that it's getting reported as far as whether it's passed or not, that you're required to, anytime there's an inspection, to file the results of that inspection with our health department. Does anybody else feel comfortable with that conditioning?
I would be fine
Fine with that.
Okay, you just wrote the decision.
So, I'll make a motion. Close the public hearing.
Yeah, close.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing, aye.
And I'll make a motion to approve petition 25-17 to make a finding that the addition of the spray booth as proposed, being what is attached to the petitioner's memorandum submitted today from Infotech or its equivalent, be permitted to be installed and used as an expansion of the existing use for general repair, conditioned upon there being compliance with all federal, state, and local regulations governing the use of a spray booth or paint in this proposed and actual use. And then I think that's all I need to make.
Conditioned on any report being.
And conditioned
shared
on
with
any
the local health
reports or inspections that are taken by any state, local, or federal agencies being provided to the Board of Health within 14 days of receipt of any report inspection.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
And if you could ask Sam if he could write a draft
I
decision for
will bring that up in the morning. He's still in Lynn,
All right,
in a
okay.
different situation, but I'll talk to him in the morning and get back to you. Thank you very much.
No, it's 4 on there.
So, Susan, I should have left you on that one because I forgot you're off these two.
What's that?
I should have left you on that one because I forgot you were off. Okay.
These next two, right?
Next two
Can
are yours.
can I talk about them or no?
No.
Can't do
You can
this.
even leave if you wanted to.
All right, yeah.
You don't feel,
Well, I'm-
you're a notice to butter, right?
I'm a butter to both,
To
yeah.
both, okay, yeah. I mean,
I'm just curious.
I mean, you can definitely stay. but- All right, we're here for, the next petition, sorry, is petition number 2518, which is for number 80 Puritan Road. And in this case, we have an abutter on the board, so she's going to recuse herself.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Should I
Yes,
start?
please.
Ready?
Yes, please
Okay.
tell us about your petition.
So this is a two-story, two-family with a hip roof. What I want to do is add a bedroom to an unfinished attic area and change that hip roof to a gable. And the rear is non-conforming, so we'll just be going straight up, not extending that non-conformity.
What's the size of the third floor footprint?
What's that?
What's the size of the third floor?
It's, it'll be a half story, so it's half the size of the floor below.
Okay, it's 1 foot over. 1 foot over. 1608.
Take the front off.
So this is, it's currently a two-family, correct?
Yes, it
Is
is.
the third family, I mean, is the third story going to be a separate,
Well, it's a half story.
it's a, yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
it'll
the
be,
top floor.
it'll be part of the second floor.
Part of the second floor?
Yeah.
So it'll stay a two-family?
Yes.
Just need to look at, oh, here we go. Application. Having the covered, with the deck being sort of a covered deck. Okay, thanks. Should that be where the setback is as opposed to the building?
Covered deck
The-
is included for setback.
So that's, so we, I don't think the setbacks are accurate on the application. Because
So which deck is covered? These ones on this one
on
here
the
on the
side,
first
yeah,
floor?
where,
But he has, but isn't this showing 5.9 feet?
yeah, the application has the side yard setback
Is 16?
as the 16.
Yeah, no, it should be 5.9, but it's protected.
Yeah, but now, the additional deck, though, is sort of,
It's going right to that, it's under Belalta, it's not increasing the non-conforming use,
Yep,
it's going
yep.
right up to it.
yep. Now, if the deck was open, I mean, is the difference that now it's covered and before it was open?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's my concern, so.
Well, that's a good
yeah.
point. So it's not covered currently,
It's it's one deck,
and it's open to the sky.
and it's open to the sky.
So I,
So it's a
so
protrusion.
it is going.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
It's going from 16 to 6. It is an increase in the non-conforming nature.
I know.
It's a good catch.
And why is that?
So, a deck that's uncovered doesn't count as part of, as being in the setback, but if it's covered, it counts as part of the structure.
And with the addition of the deck, it becomes
It
covered.
becomes
so-
covered, yeah, with the addition of the upstairs deck. So that's sort of, that was the only thing that sort of stood out to me about this, was that deck.
Where you cut that deck back in half.
What's the?
You could cut the deck back in half, this third floor deck.
You could cut it to make it smaller, so you're not within the
So
setback,
instead
side
of
yard
going
setback.
all the way, you know, it goes
Right, right.
50% of the way out there.
Yep, right, because the problem is it's going into the side yard setback.
Right.
And it's making that first floor deck, or the second floor deck,
Right.
in this non-conforming.
Non-conforming, yeah.
Yeah, I think the second floor deck's gotta be smaller.
It's,
Excuse me, how is how do you consider it covered? Because it has
If
deck.
it's not open to the sky, it won't be after, so the second floor deck will be covered by the third floor deck. So it will, the second floor deck then becomes a covered deck, and the side yard setback would, after construction, be 6 feet, less than 6 feet, whereas now it's 16 feet. So you're increasing the non-conforming nature.
what's the side yard setback?
The side yard setback, you're increasing.
What's this required?
Oh,
side?
in this.
7.5.
district? Oh, 7.5, yes, so you're.
And so you're at 6, so you'd have to just make the top deck, so that it was,
Would fit in the conformity,
it would,
the
yeah.
side
So the-
setback.
So the
it's
top deck would have to be at least
7.5 feet
Yeah,
from this,
From the side
Yeah,
yard.
but you,
Right.
but you could ask for a dimensional special permit and get rid of that.
You could ask for a dimensional
1.5
special permit to
feet.
get to
6 feet,
6, for the 1.5, right, 20%.
right. And now we're talking 5.9, so we're clipping them for 2 inches.
Yeah, it's
Go
like 2
back and
inches
measure
off.
the 5.9, might be 6. Next time they measure. No, I'm just saying.
I hope not.
sorry, I'm just looking for this. Here we go.
And the second floor deck, is that in good shape? Are you replacing that as part of this?
actually, it is in good shape, yeah.
It is, it's staying as is?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
wasn't gonna do anything with it. Probably new decking, it's old decking.
Yeah,
Did he
but
advertise?
It's got
Yeah, how is it
6x6 posts
advertised?
on it, it's in good shape, seems like it's
Didn't advertise for
bolted in.
permit.
yeah, no, it's not advertised that way.
Right,
So,
so we could go to 6, unless you
Yeah.
wanted to re-advertise.
7.5, he has to be at 7.5.
Yeah,
Unless-
but, or if you if you came back. and
Yeah,
asked
so,
for dimensional
just
special-
to explain, so by putting the deck, you make the existing deck non-conforming, by putting the roof over it, the deck above it.
Oh,
And
really?
it-
Right now, it's actually conforming? Are you
It's,
saying?
right now, you're allowed to have uncovered decks in your setback, but you can't have
really?
a covered porch in your setback.
Oh,
So your setback is 7.5 feet, and right now you're at just under 6. So you could move that top deck a little bit shorter. Your other option is to advertise this as a dimensional special permit, which it wasn't advertised, so we can't give you relief for something that wasn't posted when the meeting was noticed.
right.
But if you would like to have the decks match, and aesthetically, that might be the better choice.
Well, I think, plus structurally speaking, you want your point loads on top of
Yeah,
it.
Right.
correct,
You're not
so,
gonna be able to add, you're not gonna be able to cut the third floor deck back 1 foot or 2 inches, because it's not gonna line up on top of it. You might as well knock the whole deck down and start again.
yeah, so So the most relief you can get is for it to be, so with a dimensional special permit, and
Yeah.
this would be a situation where I think that would be allowed, because it is, it sort of isn't more detrimental, and to be honest, aesthetically, having it line up would be probably the preferable choice.
Well, I think it would look better.
It would look
yeah,
better,
of
right,
course.
so, and structurally and all that, so, you would probably be very likely to get that relief, but, you're still, a little off, because you're at 5.9, and the most we could give you relief for would be to be at 6. So you would have to be, an inch and a whatever.
3 inches.
What is it?
It's 3 inches off, right? Just, we
Well,
can't give relief for
it's
that.
1 point, it's 5.9 feet.
5.9
So it's,
feet,
so it's
right.
0.1
It's
feet, so it's like an
1/10.
inch in a,
Twelve
yeah.
inches.
Oh, so it's it's what is
So-
it, an inch?
1.2 inches, yeah.
Yeah, so you basically need the top deck to come in an inch and a half or whatever to.
Inch and a quarter.
An inch and a quarter, thank you. An inch and a quarter to comply, which you could do, and aesthetically, I think it would be fine. But you do need to re-advertise and come back and ask for a dimensional special permit. If you choose not to re-advertise, and you want us to make a decision right now, the best we could do is you'd have to meet that 7.5 setback. So you'd have to be coming in, more of 1.5 feet than.
Yeah, so you had to apply for the zoning again?
Yeah, my guess is usually they will waive the fee on something like this. You wouldn't
Okay.
have to pay the fee. It's usually waived in the situation where once you
Okay.
get to the situation, the relief you need is
Yeah,
different than the
yeah.
relief that was advertised.
Yeah.
So my guess is that they would waive your additional fee.
Right, you'd
And
fill
we
out
could
an
recommend
amended, you would just check off the dimensional special permit box and just write amended on your petition. And that would-
Okay.
and submit that, so we have a record, there's an amended petition, and then it would be re-advertised for our next meeting, so that your abutters would all get notice again
Yeah.
that that you're asking for a dimensional special permit.
Okay, all right. If I have any questions, Krista.
Yeah, Crystal will definitely be there to help you, yeah.
She's my go-to person.
Yeah, good.
And checking out, engineering-wise, how it would work, the key is,
Oh, you mean for that inch and a half?
for that inch and a half,
Yeah. That's
making sure it's gonna work.
something with trim or something, yeah.
Yeah, I think you could definitely do it.
I
and
would-
get it
I would
in
think
an inch
so.
and a half, and
Just have it come in.
it'll still look nice, and
Yeah.
it'll look better than having it in at 1.5 feet, I think.
Oh, well, it's gonna look good.
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Have you talked to any abutters?
What's that?
Have you spoken with any of the abutters?
Not well, yeah, people around there, yeah. I mean, they're excited about what I might do. They know I'm a builder, so, and I live there, so of course, they probably like that.
Yeah,
It's a great area, I love it. Very nice.
all right, no, I don't see anybody online here oh, there's one person. If anybody has a question, and I know you're here for the other petition, so nobody has any questions. All right, so that's what I would recommend. Now, in that case, do we continue it?
We would
We
continue
would
it.
continue this, so it's technically an amended petition, not a whole new petition. So we can continue this
Okay.
to our December meeting, and then you'll just have to make sure you check the dimensional special permit box.
Okay, terrific.
Okay, just to clarify, we renoticed for the dimensional special permit even though it's being continued.
Even though it's being continued.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's continued to December 16th.
Right, very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So just need a motion to continue that.
Make a motion to continue to December 16th.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, really?
All right, so now we are moving on to petition 2519 for 55 Puritan Road. And so I understand that you're in the process of going through planning. And so the only sort of relief that you're asking for right now is this, what we're talking about, squaring off in sort of the way of Belalta. Now, I was speaking to Krista about this earlier, because I think the only way for us to really make that determination would be if we had site plans with the measurement from the current closest point to the property line and the measurement from the new closest point to the property line, because from the drawings, it looks like it is actually getting closer. Even though it's getting closer along the same plane of the building, it's not along the same plane of the property line, and that's where you'd have to say, okay, is it creating a new nonconformity? We would, assuming the numbers, we would say, yes, it is creating a new nonconformity. We could still go with Belalta if let me know if anybody disagrees with this, on saying that this new nonconformity would not be more detrimental than the existing because of the unique shape that we're literally just filling in a small sliver to square off the building, that wouldn't be more detrimental than the current nonconformity. That would be a determination we'd have to make. But I think it would be difficult to make it without actually knowing what any of those numbers are.
It is, I looked it up on the site plan. So, again, I'm not it is approximately 6.3 feet right now, and the one that you noted will be about 5.2 feet. So it's about a foot shorter, as you said it looked to scale. I could, yeah, I mean, is that?
Yeah.
But it,
Oh, thank you. Mark, does Belalta not apply to 3 families?
I believe it's Belalta's 1 and 2 families.
Okay, sorry,
So I don't
thank you.
think we can do.
Thank you, sorry. That's important.
Another good catch.
That was a good catch. So it does not apply to 3 families. We don't have a lot of 3 families.
No, not in the ocean either.
Yeah, great property.
It's unique.
I would say that it would be very challenging to get the relief, even if we had all the correct paperwork, because the relief that we usually grant in these types of situations only applies to single and 2-family homes. So.
I'm going to confirm that right now.
Okay.
Take me a minute.
Because I understand and agree with the reasoning for doing it. And I don't think it causes anything to be more detrimental, but, or wait, can you do it just with the dimensional special permit? No, you can't. Sorry, I'm just looking at the application online.
Is the head house just for access to the condensing units?
Yes.
Is that for like a deck or something?
It was for access for the AC units. We had originally talked about doing a deck up there. Planning board yesterday didn't like the height of it, so I don't think we're going with that anyway. I think we were talking about accessing, because it's in the flood zone, so I have to put the AC units on the roof. So we're looking at maybe doing a hatch or something different for up there.
Mm-hmm.
But the plans were submitted, before.
Yep.
It'd be nice to put a roof deck up there. I mean, I was up there the other day just to check the roof, and I was like, wow, You have, even though it's on the ocean, to the right, there's a like a garage structure there. So the first and second floor doesn't have the views, and then to the left, the structure goes all the way out. So that's why what
I
I'm,
walk by this all the time, so I know.
oh, yeah, so I'm trying, it's like a little sunroom right now, it's like 9 feet by 16 feet. So the idea was just to get a straight wall and eventually have either a primary bedroom there or a living room there, so you can really capture the view, because you get that view straight on,
Yeah.
you know?
So is this a renovation of the existing, or is this a full tear down?
It's a renovation.
It's a renovation.
Yeah.
Existing. So, and the only relief that's being sought from us right now is that,
To square off
the
the.
squaring
building.
off that. So any of the, is there any other relief
But
from
isn't there
zoning
also-
that's needed?
Well,
It
that's why I
shows
was asking-
38-foot height, right?
That's why I was asking about the head house, though. If you look at the elevations, it looks like we're at what, 35 feet
It shows
still.
35.
Because that head house should not, if it was, because it's just a mechanical, or just to access mechanical equipment, it doesn't count for the overall height, so,
Right.
So he doesn't need to leave.
not for that, no.
Yeah, does
So,
the,
but
does the
Are
hen
they-
house
Are they
need,
requiring you to lift it out of the flood zone?
no,
No.
no.
Okay. Because that was also something that the building inspector had said about this project, that if
If I was going over 50% of the construction,
if the construction cost was more than 50% of
Right.
the assessed
Assessed
value,
value.
which is only $500,000.
right,
So the project is going to be less than $250,000.
yes.
For the whole building?
I'm not doing the whole building over. The building is in decent shape inside, but the front, as you can see, I'm looking to get more parking from the planning board, and then square off the back of the building and renovate the apartments.
Yeah, but you're talking 3 new kitchens,
I'm not doing new
2
kitchens.
baths.
No, no. Right now, I'm keeping it as is. And I've done, the most of the money that I'm spending right now is just to get the parking in there.
All right, so the only relief that we're being asked to give right now is for that squaring off. And
Which is for that side yard setback? Is that actually, it's showing it as the same.
yeah, it's not though, so it's going from 6.3 to approximately 5.3. But like I said, even to sort of do the full analysis, we would expect to have actual plot plans with,
Yeah.
stamped plot plans and
Yeah.
everything, which we don't have.
Well, we have,
But
it's stamped by a registered architect, but it doesn't have the
it
dimensions.
doesn't have any of the dimensions. But I want to make sure that we don't send him on sort of a fool's errand. I want to make sure that if we ask him to get this information, it's actually going to be something that would make a difference. If there's absolutely no way we can give this relief, because and I apologize for, and thank Michelle for realizing I wasn't thinking about the 3-family versus the 2-family. And if therefore there is no way to have that relief, I don't want to say, oh, you need to go get some, pay to have more plot plans made. Does anybody see a pathway where this relief, because I do think it's practical and makes sense, but,
So the question is, he's got 6 point something, 6.3 now.
6.3 now.
His relief can go down to 6, and it's coming in at like 5.
Right. 5.3, about.
I mean, no, yeah.
And 6 is the permitted side yard setback in the district?
Well, no,
7 and a half.
7.5, so we can
yeah,
get
it's
to,
still non- it's
no,
non-
that's a variance to me, to get to
To get to 5.3.
anywhere below the 6. It has to be because we can only give 20%,
And that, we can give that 20% for
a dimensional special
the
permit.
dimensional special permit, and that doesn't matter that it's 3 units or anything like that.
No,
So,
So what would it be? 20% is the max you can
20
get?
what we're allowed
to 6.
to do is, it's basically get it down to 6.
Yeah.
And right now, it's at 5.3, you said about.
Yeah.
So if there's a way of getting a plan to us where it's, it might be at an angle, it might be, I'm not sure what it would be to get it to 6, or if the decision is that it doesn't need to be done, and then
Well,
it's,
based on the diagonal of the line, you could, step it or something.
That's how the current building is, right?
it's currently stepped, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be that once you do the math to get it to 6, you realize that, cost analysis of what you gain from doing it doesn't make sense anymore. But basically, if you can get it to 6, and then it could be done with a special permit.
All right, and what's that process like? Is it a real path of getting it, or?
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you apply for a special permit, it's the same, it's basically what we're doing right now.
Okay.
So if you apply for a special permit and it's within that 20%, and there's,
No, I'm saying if I wanted to square it off and get it to 5.2.
You're not gonna be.
the only.
Variance, you're not gonna,
You're
like,
not,
you get it.
So you're not getting a variance?
No, this board very rarely gives a
Okay.
variance.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the honesty, I just want to know.
Yeah, a variance there would need to be some sort of difference with your lot that makes your lot different from every other lot in the neighborhood, and it really doesn't. Your lot's very similar to all the lots
Gotcha.
in the neighborhood, so.
And he needs an amended petition as well, because there's no dimensional checked off on,
Okay,
right? No dimensional checked off on this one.
all right, so you'd need to amend to come back just asking for the 6. But again, if you think that that's not worth
I
it,
don't think it is.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to get, the whole idea is just to have a straight wall.
yeah, I understand that,
so-
yeah. So, I guess, then, because there's no other relief you're looking for right now on this petition, you may need it for height if things.
We do have public comment.
Okay, yep. But before that, I just want to explain to him what's, sorry,
Oh, sorry.
I just want to explain to you, so
Sorry.
if you decide that you don't want to move forward with this portion of the
Special permit.
and you don't think you need that, and then you're going to go back to planning, they may realize, okay, through this process, that there's other things you need a special permit for, or you need to come back to zoning,
Yep.
then you can come back to us. But what you can do is you can withdraw without prejudice, and that basically means that you withdraw your petition. And if you want to continue to next month anyway, and then withdraw, so you have
yeah.
some time to think,
Yeah, I might as well do that.
you're welcome to do that as
Yeah.
well. But I just want you to understand the
Yep.
process, yeah.
I appreciate
All
it.
right.
Just understand one thing, so where is it, the 5 feet and change that is in that corner?
Because once you take this to here,
Yep,
you're
All right, I
it's
was just-
getting closer.
trying to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanna-
And
Got it.
I'll confirm that with the engineer, because I'm just going off of a CAD plan. It's not a certified dimension, but
Right.
it looks to me that it is what it is.
It's close to 5.3,
Yeah,
yeah. So
that's
that
what
would be, if you can get that to 6 and still have your straight wall and have something make sense for what you want to do inside the building, then, so yeah, so I guess the most.
Yeah, you know, what could happen is I can bring it down a little more. I don't know if that's gonna do anything for me, but until I get to that 6 point and then bring it in.
Right.
It might do something, but.
Yeah,
I'll
but it
look
might
at
just make, because it seems like that's going to be right smack in the middle of the bedroom, so it might just make it have no
Yeah.
clean wall to put
Yeah.
something up against, and it might
Yeah,
make it not.
it might work. I'll look at it, so I'll do a continuance, and then if I don't see it goes anywhere, if I can't make it happen, then I'll just withdraw.
Okay, and then we'll see public comment, because that might affect what you decide to do as well. Please.
So is that enough time for you to December 16th?
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, I'm Sean Conley. I live on Sculpin Way across the street. I want to compliment your architect renderings for the building because it definitely needs it. My concern is where I live, there's a lot of multis, and parking is a huge issue. I see that you have 2 spots tandem and then 1 spot. What are the makeup of each unit? 3 bedrooms?
It'll eventually be a 2-bedroom on the first floor, because we'll take out the front, and then it'll be 3-bedroom and 2-bedroom as a king.
Right, so average, the homes next to me are 2 families, and they have 6 vehicles per family. So where is someone with an additional?
I won't be able to rent to a person with 6 vehicles at the end of the day. I mean,
But you have 1 spot so far, is that a 2-bedroom?
the
Parking
first
spot
floor is a
1?
2-bedroom, so number 1 will be for the 2-bedroom. And then I'll have 2 tandem for the second floor and 2 tandem for the third floor.
Yeah, and that is meeting the
That's the-
requirements. So 2.5 spaces per unit.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's the best I could
Right?
do,
1.5,
unless I can park in
One and
the,
a half, isn't it?
1.5 space, I
park
apologize.
in your
1.5
driveway.
spaces
My
per unit.
driveway's packed.
I'll come in your driveway.
Well, I'm just saying, people are gonna have guests, our street is it's really
I
not a
mean,
one-way, it's, I
that's
mean, you
all-
have the property that has
That's
the
all I got,
driveway.
and there's nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
I can't get more.
No, I understand that, it's a concern, there's already enough, you have the unit across the street with the driveway on Sculpin Way, as you know,
Yeah.
you can't park on the opposite side, I'm just concerned guests, neighbors coming here are gonna start coming further down on the street.
So what do you propose?
No, I just wanted to understand what
Yeah.
you're doing. Again, you're doing a nice job, it's gonna make the property look much nicer, just here to
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. No, I don't know if you had a better recommendation.
no.
I'm all ears. I
Can't
don't
park
have
on
all the
Puritan-
answers.
Puritan Road, I mean, on Sculpin Way, you can't park on Puritan Road, I was just curious, was there gonna
Yeah.
be some kind of accessory spot for a guest visiting or staying overnight? They're gonna be parking on Sculpin Way, which is already difficult.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, as the current use, it is a three-family and it has
One spot.
one spot.
One
So this is a
spot,
huge
right.
improvement.
There's only
This is-
one-
It's going to have 5
yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
So,
So 4 and 5 is gonna go to
It'll go to
first
one floor,
2 and 3.
2 and 3, yeah, because it makes sense for the tandem people to be on one floor, and then
Right.
the first floor will get one spot.
yep.
Right. But what if, so you're gonna have to tell in your listing that you can only have one parking spot on the first floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's nowhere
Yeah.
else to park.
yeah. But it is more, it is more spaces than required.
Okay.
All right, so we just need a motion to continue.
Make a motion to continue to December 16.
Do we have a
Thank you.
second?
Thanks.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so
I
we'll
heard,
see
I
you
never
next
saw
week. And if you have any questions, Krista can help you along the way.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right.
Before the
wait.
board leaves, we did have the 2026 meeting calendar.
Yes.
If you wanted to take a look, and if you decide to adopt it tonight, we would have set meeting dates for
Yeah, that'd be great.
2026, and that way we can make sure the rooms are reserved, and it'll make things a lot easier moving forward. I can share.
I mean, some of these I know right now I can't make, but I don't think that means we need to move them.
Right.
Are there any issues with doing the 40B remotely when they come back?
No.
No?
No,
I
as
wonder
long
if
as
you-
you're there, you just have to be there.
I will be there. I will be there. I just, I'm gonna be
Thank
coming
you.
down south a lot
Okay,
this winter. So.
okay.
For business or pleasure?
Neither.
No, my family lives down there, and I'm just gonna go see them more often. And get out of the cold.
That's good. Where are you going?
Miami.
Oh, nice. That's where Andy spent some time.
Oh, yeah?
All right.
Yeah, great. I won't be there this year that much. My wife will be there though, but
So I do want to make sure that we're here. I do want to make sure you're here for the
What's that?
beginning though, because,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be here in February because I'm going to the Olympics.
ooh, nice.
Nice.
What event are you?
As a competitor?
No, yeah, competitive observing. So we're seeing speed skating, short track, aerials, freestyle ski on the half pipe, and ski mountaineering, all medal events.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
So we went in Paris a couple of years ago. We took our son for like his everything birthday, graduation, forever gift. And my husband and I loved it so much, we're like, we're going
That's
back.
awesome.
So I've been like vigilant about what we're going to see, where we're going. So we start in Milan and we end up in Bormio and Livigno. And we're going
Nice.
for like ever. Like we go Friday and we don't come home again until like the following Monday. So like a whole plus weeks.
Okay, so that is Friday the 13th until Monday the
22nd.
22nd? Okay, so we do need to look at that because
What month was
so
that?
that's February. Our meeting is on the 17th. Is there any way to move that one to the 10th?
Let me double check.
Only because if we lose you, like, and we know you're gonna have to watch the next one.
Yep.
So, otherwise, it doesn't really matter, like, if people aren't there, but we just wanna make sure we don't
Yeah, I mean,
lose one of the top 5.
let's see.
So should I put that up to the?
Yeah, we should be able, I can revise it and move it to the 10th.
And move that to the 10th?
Yep.
There's a small chance I can be here for the 16th, but I haven't booked my flights yet, so I
Okay.
can try to get an earlier flight.
Let's just do the 10th, because I think it's better to keep it on Tuesday, because then you interfere with other, and
Yeah.
that's a holiday so who knows?
Okay.
All right, so let's do that one, and then, March is the 19th, I can be at that,
No, March is the 17th.
sorry, I can't.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
Hey, Heather?
Yep,
I don't think I'm gonna be here on the 10th of February.
okay. You're not on the,
So I'm not on this one anyway?
you're not on, you've already missed 2,
Oh, all right,
so
great.
you can't be on the,
You don't have to worry about it.
so we don't have to worry about you. Because you're only allowed to watch one video.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we moved that one, and then the March one, the 17th is fine for me.
Yep.
And then, hopefully we'll be done by the April one. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
All right, so we just need a motion to adopt these. I mean, we can also, if we,
Total immersion, they don't speak a word.
if there is something where we can always separate the 2 meetings if we have a full agenda and not all of the 5 people who have been part of the 40B can make it, we could hold the 40B alone on a separate day.
Yeah.
To make sure that
That
the
would be
5 people
fine.
are there. And
Yep.
so if
You'll
we-
just need to continue to a date certain from the meeting before.
Right,
You'll just have to know what that date is.
what that date is.
Yep.
So we'll just have to make sure we know at each meeting for certain that all 5 people can come to the next one. But I think this is good for now. Does someone want to make a motion to adopt this?
I'll make a motion to adopt the proposed schedule.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you.
Thanks for accommodating that change, guys.
Yeah, no
I was